Okay, part two of my astrology series. I'm going to explain the houses to you. I really geek out on this. Make sure you watch until the end because it's a really cool way of understanding it. You will never forget it after this, I promise. Astrology can literally sound like another language, right? Because we have the wheel of the zodiac, we have the 12 constellations, we have the planets, and people are talking about, well, you got Mercury in Pisces in your 12th house, so you're supposed to be a psychic or whatever, and you're like, what language did you just speak to me? So there's three things to know. So we have the planets, we have the signs, which are constellations, and then we have the houses, okay? So here is what I mean by houses. There's 12 houses, just like there's 12 constellations, right? Some traditions believe that there's 13 constellations. We're not going to get into Ophiuchus for this video, okay? So I want you to picture you're in LA and you're walking into one of those big warehouses. It's a movie studio. And you walk in and you stand in the center of all these stages. And all around you you count 12 stages. And the stages are like movie sets, okay? One of them looks like your home. One of them looks like your public life. One of them kind of looks like a lot of the relationships, remind you of like the relationships that you have. One of them looks like your daily habits and your health. Those are the houses. So the houses are where things are happening, what area of your life, okay? So we're going to do an example as soon as I talk about the planets for a second. The planets tell you what is happening, okay? So we have planets that we call benevolent and we have planets that we call malevolent. And some people, it's not that there's good and bad planets, but when you're learning, you kind of do have to think about it like that. And then when you get to the higher perspective, you're like, okay, so supposedly Saturn is a bad planet, but it's not all bad because even though it just like ruined my life for a year, it actually ended up better because all that shit those structures needed to be torn down. And now I can build new in doing what I really want to do. So it's not that these planets are actually malevolent. It's just some of them come through with a lot more restrictive or harsher energy. So these signs are the energy around what's happening, and the planets are what is happening. So each one of these place sets, each one of these houses represents a different aspect or area of your life. So your first house represents your public life, maybe your public image, right? How people view you in the public that don't necessarily know you. And here's where it all comes together, okay? If you have, so Jupiter is generally a benevolent planet. Jupiter is expansion. So if you have Jupiter in your first house, and let's say the sign is, let's give it Pisces, okay? It means that you're probably going to have a really good overall public image, and you might find success in your life through leveraging that public image, okay? You have Jupiter in the first house, but it's in Pisces, so it might be a little bit of a dreamy energy. Pisces is the dreamer of the zodiac. Pisces is a very intuitive, spiritual, psychic, dreamy energy. So people might see you as this. And if you're like, let's say you're halfway through your life and you've never had an astrology reading, you don't know what any of this stuff is about, but you're kind of at a place where you're like, you know what, I could use a career change. I want to start a business. It's really useful to know these things about how people perceive you, right? I had no idea about my rising sign. I had no idea that because I'm a Scorpio rising, I can intimidate people. That's all part of being a Scorpio rising, is that it's kind of like a mystique, like intimidating. People see you, but they don't know what you're really thinking, like underneath that current. And I want to share with you guys how much it helped me with self-awareness, self-confidence, posting online, everything, just figuring out my big three. Because I am a Pisces, like sun. So that's who I am at my core. I'm very, very loving, very giving person. But a lot of times I would meet people and people would eventually tell me, I didn't really like you at first, or not that I didn't like you, I just didn't really know what you were about, or, you intimidated me. And that would really make me feel bad because it's never like, I don't go or walk around being like, I'm going to intimidate everyone today, like definitely not like on my list of things to do. But people feel the energy, right? And this is like such a testament to astrology, because people that said this to me, it's like so many people at this point, like not everyone was intuitive necessarily. Like this wasn't like these were psychic people and they were just picking up on the energy. It's real. It's real energy that I project out to people because that's my rising sign. So what is your rising sign? How do people view you versus what are you at your core? What are you at your soul? How can you leverage how people view you to your advantage to help you to bring in wealth, to bring in abundance? All that can be found in your chart. I'm going to make a part 3.